Alright guys, what we are doing right now is he wanted to make some mud flaps for his car because he's inspired by the Ricer Subaru.
Yo boy.
And okay, so what I have Rally Armor mud flaps, and I paid $143 and change for them. And what happened was I went to the beach during spring break, and when I did, my two back ones disappeared. They fell off. I looked for them, I could not find them. I was bummed, and so I just took my mud flaps off in general. My two front ones are still Rally Armor, but my two back ones, what I did is I traced my Rally Armor one and made a template. This is the one we're making for his car right now. We got a piece of cardboard. It's actually the head gasket for my Mustang that I'm trying to sell, and head gasket or whatever. And so what we're doing is we're tracing a template. I was lucky enough to have my actual Rally Armor with the holes and everything line up. So what I did is we got this is the one I cut already. This is water heater drain pan, and this is the same material. It's got these little hexes on them, but I put that facing the tire, but it's got the same consistency. It's not as thick or as flimsy or whatever. I bought the polyurethane ones, Rally Armors, so they're really whatever. But as you can tell, unless it's like daytime, you can see the color difference. This is a little brighter, and I painted it with red Flexi Dip was what I actually, and it actually looks like really legit. And so I'm probably gonna have my friend print out Rally Armor stickers to stick on it, since I have bought them and I have the receipt for it, but they're not gonna replace it. So that's what we're doing right now. And he just went out and bought one. We're gonna try to make it for his car too. And so what we did, we want to start with a piece of cardboard, mock it up. We're trying to make it look similar to the Rally Armor with this little edge right there. And so what we're doing is here to line this up. We determined how low we wanted it and how much we wanted it to stick out, like that. And so we're probably just gonna drill into this. I have self-tapping screws we're gonna use, but we're lining this up, and that's what we're doing now. And I think we figured it out. We want it to stick out a little bit, and another factor is the height. So I figured out I want it to be like right about here, and I want it to hang down quite a bit. And so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna trace it onto the water heater drain pan. This is 11 bucks at Home Depot, and it works perfectly. It's instead of buying like sheet plastic or more, $150 whatever. So that's what we're doing right now. What time is it?
8:40.
8:40. You can't see, but this is when we're starting it. We just got the template made. We're gonna trace the template onto this. We're gonna cut it out. I tried using my angle grinder to cut this, and what it does is it melts it, so you have a really rough edge. So what I did the second time, I used a razor blade, and then I used these really strong scissors, and I had to like use both of my hands to clamp it up. But that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna record it as we go. Alright, so this is our template we made. I'm talking loud so you can't hear the music, and we traced the template. We were able to maneuver 4 of them onto here, and you see we traced them. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut these out, line them up on the car, and then on my car I already had holes. If you look, I already had screws on mine, but for his he doesn't, so we're just going to use some self-tapping screws. So he's got the razor blade. We have these self-tapping screws we bought, I've had for a while, and that's the same ones I used for my lip video that I made a long time ago that I got like 12 views on. But that's what he's doing right now. I'm working on something else. But he's cutting them out with the razor blade right now. My scissors aren't strong enough to cut them. Yeah, my scissors aren't strong enough. But he's cutting it out with a razor blade. We're gonna line it up, see how high and low we can position it on there, and then I'll get my impact with my little bit that fits these self-tapping screws. We'll just screw it right in from there. I think we're gonna keep them black too, so that's what we're doing right now. Alright, so we went ahead and used the angle grinder to cut these out faster. We got them all cut out and fit, and here's what they look like. We're trying to remove the white paint now that we used to mark it. But here's what they all look like. Kind of the only part that needs to look good on these is that. The rest, you can have it like a full square. You can cut it really thin as long as you have somewhere to mount it, and as long as it'll stick out fine. With this, whenever you're cutting these, if it's a two-sided material like this, see how this side's all hex and indented and this side's flat and shiny? Make sure when you're cutting it that if it's two-sided, if it's just one piece, you don't have to worry about it, but if it's two-sided like this, make sure you have the side you want facing out. Like, you have to lay this down like that for the right side, and then you have to flip it over and measure like that. He ended up measuring 3 of them for one side, so he's gonna have this facing out on one of the sides, and he's falling on everything. And so we're gonna put this on, and then we're gonna use some self-tapping screws to mount it. Again, like I've said, you can see, like, this is for the right side, this is for the right side, and this is also for the right side. So one of them on the left side is going to have to be like that with the indentions out, which you can barely notice. I doubt anyone will, other than us and all you 15 people that are going to watch this video.
Hey, we got like 6,000 on the Mustang.
We got 14,000 on it.
Oh, my bad.
As of now, what is it? Fucking, yeah, it's 7:40. Oh, what's the date? Hold on. March 22nd, which is also my 1-year anniversary of owning my Subaru. I'm just gonna kind of add this into the video just for me, so I can remember this when I rewatch this. But the Subaru's come a long way since I got it. I've done everything custom myself. I haven't really bought anything for it because I want to be built, not bought. Hence my sticker, along with my other one. But anyways, back to the mud flaps. We're gonna mount them or whatever and see how it goes. Right, Marcus. Right, Marcus.
What are you doing, bro?
Right, Marcus. Alright, so we had to take the wheel off so we could drill into the fender liner with our self-tapping screws. And so what we're doing is, so that way they're all lined up, we're setting it down, and then we're measuring how low it is, like how low it is from the bottom of the fender to the bottom of the mud flap. And then once this is on the actual fender liner, we're measuring this distance too, how much is left, so that way it's equal. And so what we've figured out is this is about 6.5 down is how low the mud flap is, and about 2.5 wide. So we're going to do all of them based off of that measurement. That way it's the right, it won't be like too high or too far out or whatever. There's only so far out we can go anyways. But that's what we're going to do right now, and then once we get one drilled in, I'll show you. And we're only going to be able to drill it in twice. My Subaru, it goes out farther right here. There's little places, but his, you can't. So we're just going to drill it in twice right there with the self-tappers. Alright, so we got the first one drilled in. Self-tapper there, self-tapper there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. You can see that's what it'll look like. Looks exactly like a freaking rally armor. That's like the most legit one on my car. My front passenger side got stuck in my tire. It got caught up and it fell off. That's what it looks like. These are ones I made out of it earlier. So those are the ones we got to put on, but that's what it's going to look like on the Altima. And so now we're going to do the front and other sides, and we'll see how that looks. Alright, so we got it done. You can see how the back looks. And then if I go to the front's a little low, but we can cut it. I measured 6.5 and then 2 on that, whatever.
To be honest, it looks kind of good when it's that low in the front.
It also helps since it's a front wheel drive car, since his front wheels are going to be the ones actually spinning, it'll save it. And every time he comes to my house, there's always fucking splatter. You can actually see some right now, so that'll save that.
And my tires are really wide, so they poke out.
He's got 225s.
245.
240. Oh, my bad. You see how they poke. He's actually got a pretty wide body, not like wide body, but like a wide. So his stuff sticks out quite a bit, especially when he's turning, when he sprays it up. So that's why he made it stick out quite a bit. And it's low. Oh, fuck the jacks.
Oh, fuck with my boy. Fuck with my boy.
Anyways, come on. He's gonna move this. got them footwell lights and everything. He's gonna pull his car around, so he's gonna do the other side. Oh, you got backfire! Anyway. Alright, we just finished. We need to fix it a little bit. You can see how it goes in. When I measured it, that sticks out a little bit. I measured it there, and so it was cut a little bad, and that one's kind of, they're all like a little janky just because of the way it was.
This side's way better actually.
Which is in the dark, you can't even tell.
This side's actually pretty decent, see?
Yeah, this side came out more professional because the cuts were better. I think those other two were like the first ones you cut, and then this one's pretty low to the ground. You might have to cut that a little bit. It was scraping, so it was part of the low life now. Even though you can fit like, you gotta test it. You gotta put your shoe and see if your shoe fits in there. Yep, you got a lot of shit. Anyways, that'll be another video if his parents let us do it. They don't want us working on his car. It's a 2015 Nissan Altima, and his dad doesn't believe us, even though I've dropped the transmission in this twice and done every single repair to
even though I've literally pulled a whole motor out of a 1986 Monte Carlo.
And took apart a Mustang V6 without watching any videos. And started unscrewing everything and replacing. Anyways, but that's what it is. You can see it's held on by 1, 2 self-tappers.
Anyways, where's that razor blade? I need to straighten that.
I don't know what fucking razor blade. But anyway, that's it. That's done. We're done. This video's over right now.